Alrighty, hey traders, John Howell here. In today's video, I want to give an update on silver and gold and what's happening on the short-term basis. Some key things we should be keeping an eye out for this week moving forward when looking at silver and gold, and some things that I'm keeping an eye on for to give me an indication whether we're likely to go for another dip or whether we're forming a bit of a bottom in the market as well too. We're going to look at the technical analysis on this chart. Technical analysis in this video. And also be looking at silver as well too. Small picture, big picture, which means the daily charts, weekly charts, break it all down and see if we can have a bit of a heads up what may be coming this way this week. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. But before I do, very first link in the description guys, I'm giving away a free trading course plus also a free training for my #1 trading system that I trade. If you want to know how I trade the markets, plus get access to a free trading course that teaches you about the foundation that goes into a good trader, the chart reading strategies, some good trading systems, mindset, you name it, then very first thing in the description, go get access to that. I promise you, you'll learn more in the next 7 days than you have in the last 7 months just by getting access to that free trading course. So link in the description guys, go get access to it. Now, moving over to gold. What's happening with gold? Now, the very first thing I do when I'm looking at these markets here is I try to see what is the price action doing right now when it comes to gold. If I bring up, let's say, the last sort of 3 months, I'm trying to see what is happening right now when it comes to gold and when it comes to, on a technical basis. Now, there's 2 schools of thoughts that I'm looking at here right now. The first school of thought is this could be some sort of a V bottom where we had a rally down and now we're having a rally up. It could be. We're not there yet. That's the first school of thought. Now, the second school of thought, when I'm looking at this last move down and then the last move up, is that this could just be a significant or a lower high before we start to see something like that again. That is actually possible in gold. And before we go through another dip to the downside, we've had a nice move up, but we're not out of the woodworks yet. So gold is like, for me right now, gold is it's decision time. When it comes to gold, are we going to go through that continuation of this pullback that we've been seeing for the last few months, which is a nice downward trend in this overall big bull market that we're seeing? Are we going to continue that, or is this going to be some sort of a bottoming pattern? A bit of a V bottom pattern before we start to see, the upside. That's the question mark, guys. Obviously, we never know what's going to happen, but we can look at, okay, what do I need to keep an eye on this week for the market to give me some sort of indication what may or may not be happening in the markets. So that's the first school of thoughts. Is it a V bottom or is it a rollover? Let me know what you think in the chat box below. Do you think it is a V bottom and we're just going to continue on from here? Or do you think we're going to go through another dip to the downside? Now, that's on the short term, guys. Obviously, I've been doing videos for long-term basis, and what I believe long-term for gold is massively to the upside. But yes, just because I believe massive to the upside over the next 12 months doesn't mean for the next week we can't go through another dip to the downside. That's just the way the markets work, right? So we can see this. We can see we have a dip to the downside. We have a rally back to the upside. This could be some sort of lower high. But the key levels that I'm focusing on right now when it comes to gold and moving forward this week is this level here. So these levels through here. The first thing that I want to draw your attention to is that we actually are at the sort of a bottom of a channel through here. So that's where we got the bounce of the channel. But the key areas for me when looking at gold is this 1860 level, this 1860 level through here, support, this whole support level back here. This is where we're having a lot of problems. This is decision time, do or die this week. Are we going to do? And do simply means, are we going to get something like this and this and this? If we do, then it's do time, which means we're probably just likely to continue, then start to continue up. So that's going to be really interesting to see there. Or is it die time? And what I mean by die time is, are we going to hold here? Now we're going to start to rally to the downside and start to have another bit of a dip. So there's actually, you know what? I just thought about something here. There's actually 3 things that actually can happen here right now. Firstly, and we need to keep an eye out for each of these. Firstly is a dip to the downside, and we go through another dip through there. The second one is we actually go through a bit of a dip, but we don't get towards the low, and then suddenly the buyers come back in, and then we start to pick back up again. That actually could be a possibility as well too, right? So we've got to keep an eye out for that. Does that happen? Scenario 1 is drop. Scenario number 2 is a higher low than a back up, or scenario number 3 is just a continued rise. Let me know what you think. Scenario number 1 is a drop and continue rallying down. Scenario number 2 is a drop but a higher low, or scenario number 3, which is just a continued breaking up. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. 1, 2, or 3. Love to hear your thoughts about that. So that's what I'm watching out for right now, guys. It's sort of it's do or die time when it comes to get the gold chart. Let's move over now through to silver. Silver has actually been quite sort of the stronger cat out of the whole lot of them. You know, right now, this last sort of few months, silver, as you can see, really hasn't been really doing much apart from just sideways. This sort of sideways channel. And you can see here that we could possibly be getting some sort of a V rally, a V bottom, right? So we had this move to the downside, and now we're getting a move back to the upside. Now, once again, when it comes to silver, we're not out of the woodworks yet. We need to see a bit more action here, but we could start to see something like this, and then a breakdown. Especially silver, right? Silver's a bit of a wildcat. It's like wow, right? But but we can see but we can see we have the move to the downside. So that's possibly one, or we get a move to the downside and we create that higher low. Or either as well too, when it comes to the silver chart, is that we could be getting ready for something like this and then a continued break into the upside. So when we're looking at these markets here, we can see, let's actually go back, or let's just go to the weekly chart on silver. And when looking at silver here, we've had a very big strong move up and a very, very, very weak move pullback through here. I wouldn't be too surprised to actually start to see a nice move back to the upside again, because we've had this very nice move up. Now we're going through a bit of a pullback, holding strong. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised to actually see a nice strong rally out of here. And as well as looking at gold, that gold weekly chart, remember guys, this is the gold daily chart through here. Looking at the gold weekly chart, we can see we're actually in a bit of a downward sort of pattern through here. The absolute low point, or this is sort of the channel you want to sort of keep an eye out for. Let me do that. Let me just create another parallel trend line. Let me actually just do this, somewhere through there, right? So this is the major channel coming down through here. So we really want to see a break above overall on this weekly chart on gold. If I go back to my daily charts, so as you can see, it's really sort of the first level in the sand, guys, for me is 1860. That sort of gives me the line in the sand. If we break back above there, we're probably likely to be creating some form of a bottom. But for a long term, for me to see my ultimate target, which was, where was it? This one right here, right? Yeah, there we go. For me to get to my target, which is the 2,800, even the 3,000 target, we first need to see a breaking of this level here. Once we start to get back up to 2000s again, maybe even 2000, yeah, once we start to get back up sort of the 2000s and actually the break a high, which is say 2,100, then that'll give me the confidence to say, if we can start to see that, that'll give me some sort of confidence that we can start to see another move to the upside of gold there. Now, some people have asked me for projections on silver as well too. So when looking at silver, here are some of my projections that I would do. I would simply just do a 1-to-1 projection. So it simply means that we have a nice downward channel coming down through there, as you can see. And if I just draw that, let me just, right, so that's actually a bit of a channel that's actually happening right now. And we've got a bit of support. So we had this strong move up and then a bit of a pullback. If we actually break out here, where do I think it's likely to go? Well, I could just use a Fibonacci, which is a low to a high. You actually can see that it actually only retraced 38%, which is quite strong. But if it did break out here, then what we could see is we can see that we have the low point towards the high point, and then we have a movement from this low point here. So if we broke out, a 1-to-1 projection would be quite feasible from this move up. Then that'll be around that $40 level, which is actually quite interesting. And the reason why that's interesting, maybe the $40 level may be a bit lower, but the reason why that's interesting is you can see here that that's actually close to a close to our all-time new high for silver. So very, 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 very strong. That's actually what I see, guys. That's my projection. If we can start to break out of here on that weekly chart, then my projection is around that $40 level. Hey traders, John Howell here. Thanks for watching my video. For a limited time only, I am giving away free access to my brand new trading course. I've put all my most powerful systems, strategies, and trading techniques that I've learned over the last 15 years and put it in this course, and I'm giving it away for free for a limited time. See, in this brand new Go to the Markets by the Balls trading course, and you can get it when you go to johnsfreegift.com, you're going to learn, firstly, you're going to get access to a brand new training course for 90 minutes, and you're going to learn all the details step by step to my #1 trading system with over a 90% success rate that works on any market and any time frame. You're also going to learn 3 powerful chart reading and trading techniques. You're also going to learn 2 more powerful trading systems, and also you're going to learn 7-figure trading secrets, mindset techniques, and so much more. There's top 13 mistakes you're going to learn, the 10K per month formula, and so much more. No, this is not a get rich quick scheme, but if you are struggling with your trading right now and you need help, then for a limited time, you can get free access to this. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now, or click on the very first thing in the description, because for a limited time, I'm giving away. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now and start getting access to this full complete trading course, plus also the free training with my #1 trading system with over 90% success rate. Go do that right now, and I'll see you on the next page.